If I said potassium, most people would be like, oh yeah, bananas. Mate, bananas are the influencers of the fruit world. They're full of hype but no actual depth. Let's get something straight. Potassium isn't just some chill electrolyte you sip on after a sweaty gym class. It's literally running the show inside of your body. Every nerve impulse, every contraction in your heart, every signal your brain sends. Potassium's in the middle of all of it, like an overworked intern doing 12 jobs with no thank you. And without enough of it, you're not just tired, you're kind of flatlining your performance, your recovery, and your focus, without even realising. And I think the actual boot in the face moment is that 98% of people don't meet their daily potassium needs. Yes, that includes athletes, desk warriors, omnivores, carnivores, and us plant-based eaters with a smoothie bowl habit. The data, a major NHANES study, found that the average intake across adults was just 2,500 micrograms to 2,700 micrograms, with official recommendations sitting at 3,400 micrograms and 2,600 micrograms for women. So while everybody's out here worrying about creatine and protein, you've got your potassium walking around like an undercharged iPhone. Performance, recovery, even blood pressure, all taking a hit slightly. As usual, I'm Callum Weir, your plant-based nutritionist, nutrition columnist, and host of Plant Fueled. Look, you're not going to wake up one morning and think, oh no, I'm low on potassium today. It's not how it works. No, what you will notice is you're feeling a bit foggy, you're sluggish, you're wired, but tired, got weird cramps for no reason, your motivation's lost, and your performance, well, let's just say that your warm-up was your workout. Low potassium symptoms aren't sexy. They don't just slap you in the face like a rolled ankle or a dodgy curry. They whisper, most people ignore them, or worse, they blame it on their personality. Because we're talking random fatigue that coffee doesn't touch, muscle weakness, or twitching even if you haven't trained hard, heart palpitations, not the cute kind where your crush texts you back, mood swings or straight up irritability. But sure, Mercury's in retrograde again. And here's the worst bit, even if your blood tests look fine, your cells still might be starved. Blood levels stay stable until they tank. Blood levels stay stable until the tank is really empty, which is why lab tests kind of miss functional deficiencies. So you end up stuck in this low vibe, low power loop with no idea why your brain feels like it's running on dial-up. Oh, dial-up shows my age. And athletes, don't get smug. You sweat buckets, the potassium's gone. The more you train, the more you lose. And if you're plant-based, again, don't assume you're golden because you just eat your greens. If your meals are mostly refined, low in legumes, or if you're intermittent fasting with one big meal a day, your potassium might be tanking while your macros are looking insta-worthy. And you don't fix this with a banana, you fix it by paying attention. I mean, I don't even know why bananas are the main source there. Everybody thinks about Reese's Pieces have more potassium than a banana. We're going to be looking at food, ratios, smart hacks, and it's not going to involve chugging coconut water until your kidneys file for divorce. Right, so potassium. As I said, not just something you casually top up with a banana while pretending you're healthy. It's one of your body's master regulators, kind of like a bouncer at the club. Potassium keeps order, fluid balance, nerve signals and muscle contractions, blood pressure, all on point when dialed in. Start running low, you're basically running on chaos. You feel flat, you feel weak, maybe a bit emotionally unstable. Kind of like the person that cries at a dog food commercial and hasn't had a bowel movement in 3 days. No shame, just facts. Does potassium affect smooth muscle contractions? Yeah, that does include digestion. Constipation, dead giveaway. And if we're talking performance, that's where it gets spicy. Potassium and sodium kind of work like a tag team. Think Batman and Robin, but think more electrolyte and less crime fighting. Every time your muscles fire or your heart beats, potassium rushes out the cells and the sodium floods in. That creates an electrical charge. And that electrical charge, that's how you move, that's how you sprint, that's how you lift. Low potassium is kind of like trying to charge an electric car with a phone cable. It ain't working. And then blood pressure. One of potassium's main gigs is helping the blood cell. It's helping blood vessels relax. More potassium, less vascular resistance, equals smoother blood flow. And with that, a 2022 meta-analysis in nutrients found that even modest increases of potassium were linked to significantly lower blood pressure in both hypertensive and normotensive individuals. But here's what most people miss. It's not about how much potassium you're getting. It's about the balance of sodium. If you're eating anything remotely resembling a modern diet, sodium's punching way above its weight. Because most of that cut sodium advice is aimed at people smashing ultra-processed diets, microwave meals, instant noodles, and takeaways where salt is the sauce. So let's get this straight, you don't have to live on K1 dust or a quinoa salad blessed by a moonstone to get your sodium. That's Instagram nonsense. You need volume, you need consistency. And above it all, you need to stop pretending that one banana is doing the job. One banana has about 400 micrograms of potassium. You need upwards of 3,500 to 4,700 micrograms per day. Quick math, that's about, 9 bananas per day? Mate, which means if you're relying on that, your nutrition plan is basically fruit cosplay. So for us plant-based eaters, Here's some of those real key players. White beans, over 1,000 micrograms per cup. Sweet potatoes, 500 to 700 micrograms per serve. Lentils, 700 micrograms per cup. Spinach, cooked, 800 micrograms a cup. Avocados, around 900 micrograms per fruit. And no, guac doesn't count if it's smeared on half a kilo of corn chips. Tomato paste and passata, sneaky good. Dried apricots and raisins, solid. But stop at a handful. Unless you fancy a sugar crash that can floor a horse. Yeah, not gonna lie to you, you can get in from meat and dairy. It's not as efficient. In fact, in plant-based diets done well, potassium usually kicks ass. In comparison to the Western standard mess of a diet. That's one thing we've got in our corner. But only if you're eating like a grown adult. Not skipping meals, not surviving on oat lattes and vibes. And don't even get me started on that ultra-processed crap. Potassium gets stripped out faster than dignity on a reality TV show. Now, if you sweat in buckets or living in 38-degree heat, don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, I'm not going to try and work it out. You're losing even more, that's why athletes cramp. Endurance runners pass out. That's why you feel like a tired, twitchy wreck halfway through a workout and then blame it on overtraining. When realistically, you're just underfueled. Low potassium won't hit you like a piano falling from the sky. It's sneaky. It's subtle. And while we're out here blaming our moon phase, Pluto or your rising star sign for why you feel like a big bag of spanners, start paying attention. Cramping consistently? No, it's not because you pushed hard on leg day. Your muscles are screaming because they don't have enough. Enough of the stuff they need to contract and relax properly. Twitchy eyelids or shaky hands? That's cute in a Disney squirrel, not in a human adult trying to function. Fatigue that won't quit? That's your cells begging for a charge. Potassium literally helps nutrients move into cells. No potassium, no fuel. Weird little heart flutters? Don't panic. Don't ignore it either. Potassium is critical for regulating electrical signals within your heart. Elevated blood pressure when you're eating well. It could be that you're not balancing out the sodium. Sodium, potassium, as I said, they're a team. Where it gets frustrating, blood tests might look normal, even when it's suboptimal, but there's only a small fraction of potassium is in your blood. Most of it lives inside your cells. So if you're just waiting for a blood test alarm bell to ring, probably already late to the party. Think about it like a phone battery, really. It says 15%, but reality is dying faster than your motivation at 6 AM. That's why you don't wait for collapse to care. You build the foundations now, so your body doesn't throw in a towel when you need it in training, work, in life. Still the banana myth, not a decent source of potassium, but if you think they're a gold standard, go ahead, take them. But you've been sold a lazy headline, much like people saying that sit-ups are great for a core workout. Technically true unless you've ever done a plank, a hanging leg raise, ab roll out. But realistically, there's a ton of plant foods that are boosted with potassium. Absolutely stacked. And most of them don't require you to eat a bunch of mushy fruit and pretend you like it. Do I hate bananas? No. Did I work on a banana farm for 6 months in Australia? Yeah. PTSD. Banana PTSD. And if you're out there being like, yeah, I drink a load of coconut water after a workout, I'm good. Yeah, coconut water has potassium. I love coconut water. But unless you're running marathons in the Sahara Desert, chugging 500 mils of sweet liquid sugar post-workout isn't a fix. It's a band-aid for a bullet hole. Potassium isn't just about one food. It's a pattern, a diet built around unprocessed plants that give you potassium by default. So you don't have to stress it. You don't have to track it, and stop eating beiged packet crap and start eating like somebody that actually gives a damn about their body. Alright, so look, you're eating sweet potatoes, you're chugging green smoothies, you're smashing chickpeas, you swapped out crisps for something, respect to that, and yet your blood pressure's high, energy's low, and your muscles are throwing tantrums. Like little crotch goblins in a toy. What gives? So, uncomfortable truth. The food system's broken and it's taking our minerals down with it. Soil degradation, real thing. Modern intensive farming has squeezed the life out of our soil, to the point that the spinach you're eating is not the same as the spinach your nan was eating in the 60s. There's a reason your grandparents ate less and got more. Get that with the sodium overload we're living in now. And potassium doesn't stand a chance. The average Western diet's a salt fest. 3,400 micrograms daily, compared to the less than 2,500 micrograms potassium. That ratio is upside down. Upside down, upside down. And if you say that doesn't matter, your arteries would beg to differ. Oh, and let's not forget the gym bros that are like, protein everything. Skipping carbs like they're a moral failure. Carbs, especially whole ones, are often where the potassium lives. No lentils, no spuds, no legumes, no potassium. Even for the plant-based crew, especially ones new to it, if your diet is all fake meats and oat milk lattes, no beans, greens or roots, you're not really eating plants. You're eating plant-branded junk. It's not about perfection. It's about understanding the why behind the numbers. Because if you don't know the plan, you can't pay to win. And right now, potassium deficiency is winning more rounds than it should. Let's be honest, potassium doesn't sell books, get influencers sponsored or make headlines. No one's starting a potassium detox. But it quietly underpins every system in our body. It's the backstage crew keeping the show running. Why magnesium and B12 strut around like rock stars. And the real reason people walking around with low potassium, it's not because they're lazy. It's not because they're lazy. It could be they're lazy, but normally not because they're lazy. It's because our food system is designed for profit, not performance. Ultra-processed dominant. Marketing outshines micronutrients. And too many nutrition posts online are either fear-mongering garbage or preachy green smoothie sermons. But that's not what we do here. What we do, make it simple. If you're plant-based, eat your legumes, lentils, starchy veg, leafy greens, like it's your job. But if you're not plant-based, cool, advice still stands. Potassium is a human problem, not just a vegan one. And no, bananas aren't the be-all end-all. It's not about shame, it's about performance, it's about recovery, energy, it's about taking your health seriously, without taking yourself too seriously. You don't need to be perfect, you need to be informed. You just need to make a few real shifts that move the needle. The ones that help your blood pressure drop without needing a prescription. Help your sleep improve without buying another gadget. Help your training hit that extra gear. And it doesn't mean taking another supplement that's got 27 different syllables. And it's potassium. Boring, old potassium. Go get it. YouTube knows you better than I do. And YouTube thinks you're going to like this video here. Go check it out. See you next time, legends. Peace and plants.